Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And some of you out there are going to be very excited and glad that you joined in today because I'm in my kitchen and I'm getting ready to make the chicken and dressing casserole that I have been raving about for quite some time. I'm almost finished with my 4 weeks prior. I'm down to like 3 servings of that particular menu, so I'm starting on my next 4 weeks, which includes the chicken and dressing casserole. So that's what I'm going to be putting together for you. But first, let me show you the ingredients that we need. 2 pounds of shredded chicken. Now, this is chicken that I cooked. I don't know if there's 2 pounds there or not. I just kind of estimated it. But it's from the chicken that I got in my Christmas food bank haul because they gave me so much chicken, and I do want to try to use up. I think this was all thighs. There might be 1 or 2 breasts in there, but it's mostly thighs. So you're supposed to use 2 pounds of that. Then you need 1½ teaspoon of Mrs. Dash. Now, I didn't have any Mrs. Dash, so I looked up online how to make it. So this is my homemade version of Mrs. Dash. And it's just a concoction of a bunch of different spices. The recipe called for 4 ingredients that I did not have, so I just left them out because I figured with as many as I got in here, that'll be fine. Now, this particular recipe, you can Google the chicken and dressing casserole and a whole bunch of recipes come up. The basic one is the chicken with the dressing and the broth and the soup. That's the basic recipe. I'm making this recipe from another YouTuber that I saw, and I'll try to put the link to his channel below. It's called Come Sit at My Table. And I followed his recipe the first time I made it, and I enjoyed it. So that's why I'm doing it again. I just wanted to point that out because the original recipe does not call for the Mrs. Dash. He did in his. So you need 1½ teaspoon of that, 2 cans of cream of mushroom chicken soup, or cream of chicken soup. So I have 2 Great Value. Then you need 1/4 cup of milk. I don't have my milk out here yet, but I'm fixing to mix some milk up. 1 small onion chopped, and I have that in here, chopped onion. Now this, if you see the liquid in there floating around, that's because this is actually an onion that I chopped up. Last time I used a regular onion, I chopped it up, and I froze the leftovers, so that's what's thawed out. And I'll be draining that off before I put it in. 2 stalks of celery. The same thing on the celery. This is frozen celery that I had probably from the last time that I made this dressing recipe. They don't sell 2 stalks of celery in the store. You had to buy the whole bunch. So after I pulled them 2 stalks out, I just went ahead and washed and chopped up the rest of it and froze it. So that's what that is. And I just put in there what I thought was equal to 2 stalks. 1 package of stovetop stuffing. I don't have stovetop, but I do have the Great Value. Used it last time and it worked just fine. 1 cup of chicken broth. I bought this. I'm going to pour 1 cup out of here and use it. That's also Great Value. And 1 stick of melted butter. This is the butter. I haven't melted it yet, but I'm fixing to do that. So let me get all these things prepared, and then I'll be right back with you and show you how we put this together. Okay, I'm back, and you need to have a 9 by 13 pan to cook this in. Preheat your oven to 350 and spray your pan. And now I'm going to show you how you put it together. I am wearing gloves just because I'm going to be handling the chicken. And this chicken, I just cooked it in my crock pot. And cooked it till it was no longer pink or bloody and was tender. Then I drained the juice out, so I have some more chicken broth that I can use in another recipe. Then I let it cool down, and I broke it up into pieces, tiny bite-sized pieces. So you just put that in your pan. That's the first thing you do. And I'll try to remember to do a screenshot of this recipe. If I can't do the screenshot, I'll try to go in and type out all the ingredients. But I like doing the screenshot. It's a lot easier than typing all this out. So you just put all this in here. I'm tearing up all the chunks that look like they're bigger than bite-sized pieces. That looks pretty even. Just evenly spread it out. Then the next thing you're going to do is sprinkle on your herbs and spices. So this is what is known as the fake Mrs. Dash. You're just going to sprinkle that on directly on top of your chicken, right in the casserole dish. Evenly sprinkled it all around. And these are the little dishes that I got from one of my subscribers at Christmas that I use in my cooking recipes. They're very handy. Now you're going to need to mix together in a bowl. And I'm going to use the same bowl that my chicken came out of. You're going to put your, you're going to mix together the soups. I've got to get my milk out. Here it is, right here. Okay. And this is a little spatula that I got off of Temu. I'm just going to scrape all my chicken soups in there. All of them. There's only 2. I'm going to scrape both my soups in there. And I want to use the spatula because I want to get every last bit of this out. This is what's going to give a good flavor to the casserole. That's one. Here's the other one. Then you're going to need 1/4 cup of milk, which I said I was going to have it prepared and I didn't, so now I'm going to have to do it. This is a 1/2 cup measure, so I'm just going to put fill it halfway up for the 1/2 cup of milk. And this is the milk that I got at the food bank. The shelf-stapled milk that they give me. And you put in your celery, your 2 stalks of chopped up celery, and your small onion chopped. And as I mentioned, mine was one that was in the onion, in the freezer. Onions and celery, mix all together well. Now you're going to mix this all up, and so I'm just going to use my little spatula that I scooped everything out with to mix it all up. I think that'll work just fine. I don't know why you wouldn't want to put those spices in here instead of sprinkling them on there. I think next time I make it, I'm just going to sprinkle the spices in here instead of sprinkling them over the chicken. But that's the way he did it in the recipe, so that's why I'm following it. Okay, once you get that all mixed together, you're going to mix it together well, and then you're going to pour this over the chicken in the pan and spread it across the top evenly. So we're going to do that here. First, I'm going to get it out of the bowl, and then I'll concentrate on spreading it evenly. Here is the chicken with the soup topping, spread it on top of it. Then you get out another bowl. And next you're going to add, it says use the same bowl, which I guess I could do that. Let me put this one away. Save me some dishes. All right, we're going to just make room for it. You can use the same bowl that you dirtied up for that. Use the same bowl. You're going to put the dressing mix, the broth, and the butter in this. So we're going to put our stovetop stuffing in there, the broth, and the 1 stick of melted butter. And you mix this. And another thing you can do to make it better, after you mix everything up in here, let it set for a while to give those croutons, those bread croutons, a chance to soften up. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you the rest of the recipe after I get this. Let it set for a little while and get softened. Okay, my dressing has soaked up all the juices, and now we can put it on. We're going to put it on top of the chicken and spread it around evenly. I'm just going to kind of plop it in the middle, and then I'll spread it around after I get it all on there. Just like I did the soup mixture. I want to get all these lovely bits in there, all these yummies. And that's all it is to this recipe. After you get this all spreaded around evenly, you're going to put it in the oven at 350, I believe it was. And most cooking is at 350 on casseroles. Anyway, and you're going to cook it for 40 minutes. So that gets the dressing to brown and cook a little bit, and make the chicken get all hot and juicy again. So I will do that. Then at the end of 40 minutes, YouTube time, I'll be back to show you what it looks like. So hang loose and you'll see me in 40 minutes, YouTube time. All right, here it is, out of the oven. It's so hot. I can't touch the pan because I just took it out. It's so hot. Let me hold the camera up above. This is what it looks like out of the oven. Yummy good, and it's hot. Now, I'm not going to do a taste test on it because I already know how yummy this one is. I've made it before a couple of times. It always turns out good, and I love it. So thank you guys for coming to watch this video. Remember, life is short, so make it the very best you can. And y'all come back and see us any old time. Bye for this one.